What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So some of my audience members have been talking with me about their PC builds and some of the things regarding it. What I've realized is for most of our audience members, you're not really into PC gaming, but you do have a gaming PC or a gaming laptop that you've had for a while. And for some of you, like one of my audience members, you told me that somebody actually gifted you your computer, so you don't really know much about it. That's a great thing that you got gifted a gaming computer. So now let's kind of get you into the inner workings of your computer to see if it actually will meet the PC requirements that have been posted by the developers for Gotham Knights. So here are the things that you have to pay very close attention to. Your processor is going to basically give away if your processor can actually match this one that they have here. So this particular processor that they're citing here, the Intel Core i5-9600K or the AMD Ryzen 5 3600, these are references. If you have a CPU that has similar specs as this, you will be able to play Gotham Knights on your CPU. In terms of the RAM, this is just about memory, basically quantity. So 8 gigs of RAM, if you have that, then you can play Gotham Knights. If you have more, then you're in a solid position. And then these graphics cards that they're giving here are also references. So if you have a graphics card capability of similar, grade, then you're also fine. So I'll show you how to actually access your computer information when it comes to your, specs of your computer. So what you want to do first is you want to go to your desktop, and on the bottom on your taskbar, you want to go into your task manager. So you right click on the bottom, you open up your task manager, and you're going to see these processes. Now, if you've never opened up your task manager before, it's going to look like this. All you have to do is click where it says more details over here. Let me zoom this out. See, there's nothing here. And then there's a thing saying more details. You click that, and then it's going to show you all of the different tasks that your computer is running. It'll show you how much use you're getting from the different components, the major components anyways, in your computer. You want to go over to performance, and this is going to show you all of your different components within your computer and what portion of it is being used. There's another way to do this, but I like doing it this way. This way you can see real-time usage for your devices in your computer. So the very first thing that they actually throw out here is your processor, or in the case of Task Manager calls it CPU. Now, for my CPU, I'm using an AMD Ryzen 5950X. This is a production grade computer, so we're not really going to use this as a metric for what many people will be playing on. I'm just showing you as an example and also trying to answer a second question where somebody said I should show my build that I'm going to be playing Gotham Knights on. So here it is, in case you were wondering. And so my processor is definitely going to play Gotham Knights comfortably based on what it is that they have here in the recommended minimum settings. In the minimum settings. Recommended settings are still yet to come, so we're using this. If you have anything better than this i5-9600K, you can check that box off and we can move on to the next one, or an AMD Ryzen 5 3600. And so this is how you're going to check that out. Memory is your RAM. I'm going to come here and show you my RAM. I use 32 gigs of RAM. I do video production, so I probably should be looking for more RAM, honestly. For those of you who do a lot of video editing, you know what I mean. And so here they're needing 8 gigs. So if you have 8 gigs of RAM or more, check off that box. We move on. The next thing we need to check is our graphics cards, which is basically what it says graphics here. Now, if you use a gaming laptop and you're doing this whole process, you'll see you have two GPUs, GPU 0 and GPU 1. I think depending on it, you should be looking for an NVIDIA or AMD card, in your graphics card, and that's going to be what is used to game on your laptop. So GPU 0 will be your Intel integrated graphics that you use for, just regular processes. But when you start to game, your laptop is going to tap into your GPU's VRAM and a lot of its, power to get you better graphics and to run that game for you in the best possible quality. So my GPU here is an AMD RX 6800 XT. And in order for me to be able to find out how much VRAM it has, because that's what this is about, this is asking a VRAM question. How much VRAM does your graphics card have? The 1660 Ti and the RX 590 are 6 gigs VRAM cards, meaning they have 6 gigabytes of their virtual RAM. And so that's what they're looking for, because this is going to help you do a lot of processing for your game. In case of this graphics card, it's got 16 gigs of VRAM. So if you have 6 gigs of VRAM or more, then you know that you're probably going to be meeting this minimum requirements to play the game at 1080p, 60 FPS, if you're able to meet or check off the boxes for all of them. Now, if you have anything that's better, then you can pretty much say, oh yeah, I'm going, to probably be looking at the recommended settings to see if I can get more out of my, more use out of my machine and my device. So I think this is probably something that's going to help a lot of people to be able to figure out where they stand. One of my audience members was saying that their girlfriend, also has a computer. Their computer is going to be fine. How are they going to be able to figure out if their girlfriend's computer is going to be able to do this? Just do the comparisons, see how much graphics memory you have, how much memory you have, and see how much, your processor is going to be running. And I think you're probably going to get the equation right. So for those of you who may have any further questions, leave them in the comment section. It's one of those things where you're just going to have to be doing general comparisons. These, PC recommendations and the components they put there are just references. If you have anything better, you're going to be fine overall. I hope this answers your question. For those of you who were curious about the build I'll be playing Gotham Knights on, this is what it's going to look like. I might switch back and forth. I have another production build as well that I use for videos when my kids are really, jumping around the house and super busy. I go hide in a corner and I have an auxiliary station that I work from. I could play from that build as well, but it's also another production grade computer. So it's probably not going to be in the category that's looking at the recommended requirements even, because it's just there for something, different in that sense. So look through your devices, look around and see what it is you have put together. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk soon in another one. Peace out.